In the middle part of Michigan, these two teams have been a mainstay of the Michigan Collegiate Hockey Association for a long time, but tonight is the final meeting between these longtime rivals before Northwood makes the jump to Division I. 20 minutes outside the campus of Northwood University, it's the Central Michigan Chippewas and the Northwood Timberwolves. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Midland Civic Arena inside the confines of Midland. I'm Devin Serra alongside my partner, Ryan Donnelly, and we are ready for this game tonight. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you too, man.
Yeah, two opponents inside the MCHC East ranks that are near the bottom of the standings, but this one has more of symbolic meaning to it as Northwood prepares to make the jump to Division I. CMU got the best of them on home ice yesterday, 6-4, holding on down the stretch in a 3-3 tie, going ahead to lead the first 3 goals and ultimately 6-4. So what can we expect tonight?
Well, what we can expect from tonight is building off from that momentum from last night. This team got confident really late, and that's what killed them. That's why they got that late goal. That's why they were scared. This team is very good at rebuilding. This team is very good at rebuilding their confidence. You saw their top line, Nadu, Porzo, Campbell. They were playing lights out last night. Bottles had that shorthanded goal. This team was playing very well, and if they can build off of that, we're going to see some competitiveness out of both these teams. That last night was very fun. I can expect a very more fun game from tonight.
You know, that top line all year has been the question of whether they were going to find their groove or not. And finally, they've come together. 13 points in their last 3 games. They have been absolutely terrific. Like you mentioned, Bottles had a shorthanded goal in that one. And another story, not top line, but Spencer Messina, the alternate captain, had his first goal as a Division III Chippewa. It ended up being the game-winning goal in their 6-4 bout. Let's get you updated on some MCHC East standings. At the top of the ranks still holds Lawrence Tech with a record of 11 wins, only 1 tie to their name, 23 points, 22-1-1 on the year. Saginaw Valley State at number 15 in the country slots in behind them, 6-1-2-1. They'll take on Adrian today from Saginaw Bay Ice Arena, 14-7, 3-2 overall. Following up in third is Oakland University. Number 13 had a massive win last night against number 12 Michigan in overtime. Ryan, that matchup had big implications as Oakland now holds the tiebreaker over Michigan at 15 points each. That decides who gets the 3rd seed going into the tournament.
Yeah, this seeding is a very huge game when it comes to standings. Where would they be, not only in the ACHA Nationals, but where would they be in the tournament in a couple weeks? This was a huge game for them, and Oakland ended up winning that game. And who knows? They have the momentum going forward. Yeah, they led it going into the 3rd period. They were able to hold on for the 5-4 final. So that means Michigan at number 13 is slotted in at the 4th spot behind Oakland. Number 5 is CMU with 11 points to the name, 5-3, 2-1 in conference play. They're back to 500 for the first time since the early part of the year, 10-10, 2-1 their record. U of M Flint slots in at number 6 with 7 points, Adrian behind them, and Northwood rounds out with a record of 2-7 in conference play, 5-11 overall. Some games tonight to keep you updated on. Oakland will take on Michigan from Arctic Edge Canton at 8:30 p.m. tonight to finish off that series. Remember, if Michigan wins that game, they will jump back into the 4th spot, or 3rd spot rather. If they lose that game, then a bout with CMU decides that 4th and 5th seed. Either way, they most likely would see each other in the tournament first round. Grand Valley Griffs at Griffs Georgetown. Michigan Flint is taking on Calvin from Crystal Fieldhouse. Calvin got the best of the Flint Wolverines last night. Number 11 Calvin trying to secure their spot into Nationals. We're going to step aside for a moment and come back with the 2 teams here today for a closer look. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the pregame show on CCHN.
And we're back with the pregame show right here on CCHN. Devin Silva alongside Ryan Donnelly. Let's set the scene for you for the two teams today. CMU with a record of 10-10, 2-1, 27 points on the year. We just mentioned 5th in the MCHC East. They're on their longest win streak of the season, 4 games, the longest since October 27th of 2022 against the likes of Ferris State, Cleary, and Lake Superior State. Donnelly, this team has found that groove against teams that they've had a formidable matchup with. We talked about getting that win against Oakland, number 12, 2 weeks ago. Then Illinois State getting the sweep, and they're trying to finish it off with Northwood for 5 straight.
Oakland, I believe, was that wake-up call for the season. If they wanted to compete to go into the playoffs, get a higher seed, they need to beat these higher-up teams. And that Oakland game, that last Oakland game was, I believe, a wake-up call for this team. They beat the number 12 team at the time, and then look at this. They roll Illinois State, and then they get that win against Northwood. I think this was a great win, and this basically told them, hey, we can still compete. We can still be good. We can still end the season 500. And this Northwood game would help a ton when it comes to rankings.
They are 4-1-0 in the month of January, a.k.a. the second semester. On the other side of the ice is the Northwood Timberwolves with a record of 5-11-0, 3-8 in conference. First season since 2020 and the 2021 year. They lost a lot of key veterans over those years, but they reinstated this program with the likes of Mike Vesna and Jordan Cooper. Many rookies on this squad make up the roster, as many as 9 or 10. And you look at some of their key players in mind, number 11 in Milos Todorovic has led the way for them from Cayuga, Ontario, Canada. As you look at our screen here, right on the goaltender in net, David Gerling, anticipating a start tonight, but that's Aiden Schultz warming up. But this is their first year coming off a sweep against Saginaw Valley State. This young team, Timberwolves are, and they're getting ready to move up to Division I next year. So what do you look at as far as their roster goes?
When I look at their roster, I see raw talent. Like you mentioned, not a lot of returners coming back. They haven't played in a few seasons. A lot of rookies, a lot of fresh faces, and seeing this team compete here, even though they're at the bottom, they played a really good fight last night against CMU, who's towards the middle of the pack. Once they play teams that are like higher in the pack, in the Great Lakes Conference, they're going to be scary in the next few years. They just got to figure out their identity, and they got to figure out where do they line up in this league.
One player to look at on their side is number 8, Connor Dwight. Had 2 goals last night in their 6-4 loss. That puts them at a total of 4 on the year. They've lacked a lot of scoring. They'll need some more tonight to match up well. This is the final ever meeting between these teams as Division III opponents. Central, however, has dominated the series overall. 13 straight wins dating back to the 2016 season. The last time Northwood had a win was 5-4 on their ice, January 26th. And the last time these two teams played before this weekend, Central outscored them 28-4. Absolutely cataclysmic results. And although you can wipe all that clean today, it matters looking at the history.
Yeah, I mean, 28-4. My mind is blown from that stat. This is going to be sentimental. The final game between these two historic teams, it's going to be fun. And I can't wait to see what both teams have in store for us today. And yeah, I'm excited.
Northwood is joining the Great Lakes 6 Conference with Saginaw Valley State, who's moving up as well. And they have only 3 games remaining in their regular season. Central tonight, the final of this weekend, and then they'll take on Oakland University before the MCHC tournament. We'll step aside one more time and come back for Ryan's Impact Players and Keys to the Game. Don't go anywhere. This is the pregame show on CCHN. Hello again as we get ready for puck drop for CMU and Northwood, the final of this historic series. Devin Serra alongside Ryan Donnelly. Time now to look at your impact players presented by OptimX Sports. First for the visiting team, Central Michigan. They are coming off a strong performance with their top line. You've got one of those players highlighted. Who is it?
I got Jay Nadeau, who had 2 goals last night, which notches 4 goals on the season with 7 assists, 11 points in total. This guy, alongside his top line, they played phenomenal. And Jay Nadeau is one of those guys who I feel like stood out in front of the top line. Like I mentioned, 2 goals. He just overall just played really good, and expect another big game out of him. He knows how to score on this team. And although they do have another goalie coming in, I feel like it'll take them like that to figure out how to score on Northwood's new goalie.
Yeah, and early on in the year, he was struggling to find that back iron, but he's gotten paid it more times than not. 4 goals, 7 assists on the year. On the other player to watch, who are you looking at?
I look at Jace Johnson, who had his first goal for the Division III team this year, notching 5 assists. He has 6 total points on the year. Again, Jace Johnson, he had that clutch goal going in, putting the team up by 2 last night, and he's got that clutch factor, I'd say, like I've mentioned all year. Clutch factor. Jace Johnson, although he is very young, he just got called up from D2. This man has played phenomenal. He loves to pass the puck. That's why he has more assists than goals. You don't see him shoot the puck that often, but when he does, it's almost accurate. And he got to notch one last night, and expect another huge game from Jace today.
Well, Jace had a good goal in that game. He cut inside from the right wing. But also notable in that game was he had what we like to call a welcome to the Acha moment. He got absolutely rocked by Zachary McCarty behind the net in the final 7 minutes of that game. Took a good check. It was a clean hit. He'll be active today, but got his rookie stripes with that one. So
yeah.
He's getting ready for that with that hit. On the Northwood side, let's look at 2 players that really stood out yesterday, and they're going to need to be impactful today. Who you got?
For Northwood, the first player I have is Milos Todorovic. 15 games played, 13 goals. 13 goals. You heard that right, folks, on 8 assists, a total of 21 points. Todorovic, he is a rookie. He is one of the newer guys with this Northwood Timberwolves team, and he lets CMU have it towards the end. They let him get on their heads, and that's why they gave up that almost last-minute goal towards the end of the game last night. Todorovic, one heck of a player. I mean, what more can I say about him? He's played phenomenal all last night. He can score goals, and with Caleb Lurie, he has a very low a very low save percentage. He's going to be notching goals right and left from what I've seen last night. I have confidence that Todorovic might have a goal or 2 tonight.
We have one more impact player for Northwood in the likes of Donald Gooley, and he had a goal last night in that game. What do you expect from him?
Donald Gooley, he had 7 goals and 7 assists with a total of 14 points this season. He had that game-tying goal late in the second period last night. That's where CMU got shook up, and that's where they didn't really shoot the puck towards the second that much. He played really good defense last night, not letting CMU score until the middle of the third period. Expect Donald Gooley to have a big game defensively tonight and notch a couple goals as well.
Yeah, a goal, a few assists in that loss yesterday, but he was all over the ice along with Todorovic, who has been their best players as this year goes on. Keys to the game now presented by SeaMuchIceHockey.com. Ryan, what does CMU have to do to keep their momentum, as we like to call it, going and close this out for 5 straight wins?
Well, Devin, my first key to the game is don't let confidence get you towards the end. As you saw, they gave up that last-minute goal towards the end of the third last night, and then they just kind of stopped a little bit. They slowed down when Martin really wants them to just keep going. Don't get tired. Don't get less confident. Just play hockey. Just play hockey. Play the sport that you love, and then they won't give up those last-minute goals. And then another key to the game I have is keep the momentum going. Like I mentioned, that Oakland game was a wake-up call. They've won 4 straight. They're looking for their 5th today to go over 500. They got to keep this momentum going. They played very well last night, and if they keep playing like they did last night and against Illinois State, they could go very far for the rest of the year. And then just stay disciplined all game. They had they gave up a couple power plays last night towards the end of the game, and they played very disciplined towards the beginning of the game. If they keep up what they played in the beginning of the game, then they'll do very nice.
I like it. And by the way, great rundown of those keys. You did an excellent job in our studio show episode 4 of Inside Chippewa Hockey. If you haven't seen it, go to YouTube and see it right now for Ryan's breakdown of the Women's Division 2 ranks. Speaking of that team, we've got some members of the Women's D2 team here
look
today.
at that.
Head coach Chris Haney, Mac
guys.
Barnett's in the building, some other players part of the roster ready to cheer on their men's counterparts. And great job in that, by the way. You did an excellent job in that segment.
Thank you so much. And Chris Haney's son, he does play for Northwood.
He does.
So
Benjamin Haney had a goal last night.
he did.
Yeah. And, for that CMU women's team, they've got a couple of games left on the year against Adrian and Loyola, but they're number 2 in the regional right now. They want to make some noise at nationals this year. Time to look at some of our scratches for tonight's game on the CMU side. Will Rapoon was slotted in for Sam Camara, but he is back in the lineup tonight along with Kyle Robertson. Some scratches for CMU. Andrew Miller, Jake Bishop, and Vasilovich all are slotted out of that fourth line spot. Also out of this game as Ryan Grolo, Josh Gilgren, but expect to see him back in the lineup soon. Christopher Martin as well, Braden Kielb, Nick Wilson and Lauren Jones are the 2 goalies out. And as we mentioned, Sam Camara at defense. For Northwood, they're going to be without 2 of their defensemen today, Aiden Gome, who has been out of this matchup for a while, and Dominic Clavon, who is out for the year. That'll do it for our pregame show here as Northwood is cutting the ice, and we're about 9.5 away from puck drop for the final Battle of M20 game between these 2 longtime rivals. Coming up next, it's CMU and the Timberwolves live on YouTube.
Taking a look now at our starting netminders for tonight's game. For the Northwood Timberwolves, it's number 40, Aiden McGraw. With 2 games played, is 0-2, has a 3.08 goals against average, and an .898 save percentage. For your Chippewas, it'll be Caleb Woolery, the freshman, who in 12 games played has a 6-4 record, a 3.46 goals against average, and a .897 save percentage. And now for your starting lineup, here's Devin Sarah.
Thank you, Ryan. For the home team, Northwood in their white and blue unis. The forward group's Benjamin Haney scored his 2nd career goal last night. He's got goals in 2 straight. He'll be out there with Milos Todorovic, their leading scorer this year, riding a 4-game point streak. Meanwhile, Donald Gooley, who had a goal last night out of Lands Crews Unified, will finish off the top 3 groups. The defense is Trevor Peacock and Thomas Bechtel. And for your Chippewas, it's the 3rd line unit of Beamish, Nathan Bottles and Isaac Kopp. The defensive pairings, Rapoon and Robertson, will get to it. For the final time between these 2 teams, we are underway from Midland Civic Arena. Central draws the first opening touch as it's Connor Beamish skating out of his own end. All of this open ice is because of this wide Olympic sheet, a rare sighting for this CMU team. Midland hosting the only one in the mid-Michigan area, and that's going to play a factor in this game as Northwood's used to it. They play all their home games on this ice.
Yeah, CMU's not used to playing on an Olympic sheet. This one, an Olympic sheet compared to the sheet at Martin Ice Arena, is a little bigger. Olympic sheet used at the Olympic Games in the winter games, it's bigger. And this is, like you mentioned, this is the only one in the mid-Michigan area. And as there's a shot there saved by Woolery, it's just, this team might get tired out fast because of how big this ice is.
Yeah, and there was an example of it. Connor White, a long stretch pass from his own blue line, his bench, all the way up to Luke Ciceretto, the freshman out of Commerce Township, Michigan. Walled Lake Northern High School, my alma mater. Watched him play for a long time, a very speedy defenseman. This one trickles in to Woolery, and he'll stop that one. First minute, very early in this one. Timberwolves are head coached by Mike Fezina, the guy that this conference is named after. Jordan Cooper, the assistant coach, former Division III Chippewa. Ryan Stump, who was part of the Division II Chippewa coaching staff, along with Taylor Carey. So you got a lot of mid-Michigan connections around this team. And Central, of course, head coached by Brendan Martin in his 2nd season, assisted by Charlie Hayes and Tyler Koth. And Hayes, former captain defenseman of the Chippewas, was part of 3 straight appearances and 4 of the last 5 for the Chippewas at the main tournament. In jeopardy of that this year, ranked 30th in the country. Central, though, gets to work for their first forecheck of this one, not before turning it over. Touching up the wall along the way is Lauren Bram, and he's going to put it into the Chippewa bench. So we'll get another stop. And this is kind of reminiscent of yesterday. We had a lot of start and stop in the first 10 minutes of this game, but CMU at this point was up 1-0 from Connor Morgan.
Yeah, Connor Morgan, you haven't seen him a lot. He just checked in right now, and man, what I've seen so far in this game is a lot of stretch passes from CMU, getting past their blue line and just taking shots. That's what CMU did a little bit late yesterday, and if CMU wants to win, they got to take more of those shorthanded shots instead of those long stretch passes past their blue line.
There was an attempt from Porzanik up to Owen Campbell, who had himself another goal last night. He'll wrap it deep it from the half wall. Try to get a bounce pass past the defender, Kroll. He will, up to Nadu with a speedy Campbell up left wing. Toe drags his way inside, loses handle of it. The captain for this Northwood team, Colin Rader, will take it over. Leave it there for Hartfoot, who dumps it off the red line for a change. He'll be possessed up the far wall. Here comes Kyle Robertson with speed. Over the blue line, trying to make it through a defender's wickets and never got to it. Now it's touched up. First time by Zwick, Ryan Zwick, up the near wall. He'll get checked to the boards by Hutton, retrieved by Chris Armentrout with the 4th line for CMU out there. Patiently awaits his options. Northwood attempting the zone defense. They like to clog up this blue line and get 3 defenders deep. Peacock intercepts that stretch attempt for Austin Ritter, who's subbed in tonight, the longtime veteran of this team. And there's another attempt. Many open ice passes being made by these 2 teams. This one's gloved out of the air by Thomas Betchel. The defenseman will backhand it once again. Dump and chase offense into effect early. Brandon Clements finds that under his legs. He'll carry it through the middle of the ice. taken away by Donald Gooley. Gooley will flip this one into the air. More changes going out for Northwood, making some quick ones as we get underway with the first 3.5 minutes. Devin Serra, Ryan Donnelly with you from Midland Civic Arena. So here's Clements. Pushes it ahead, trying to find Beamish or Ritter. Got both of them, so it'll cause an icing as it wasn't touched, and it'll come back to their own zone.
And we talked to a couple players before the broadcast, and they mentioned about Northwood's zone defense. They have 3 forwards coming up. They got 2 on the faceoff circles, 1 near the blue line. See, as you saw, CMU was a little shaken up. What did they do? They got right back in it, trying to get it past their own zone, and it's gonna take a while to get used to this 3-3 zone on this Olympic sheet.
Yeah, one of your keys to the game, Ryan, was that this Northwood team runs sort of a breakout offense style, meaning they like to push their forwards 1, 2, and 3 deep to the zone, try and force some aggressive offense. But the counterpart is if the other team can get possession and move it quickly, they've almost got as many odd man rushes as Northwood chances. There's a centering feed intended for Zachary McCarty, and he fanned on the one-timer wide.
And this 3-3 zone, the 3 forwards, kind of reminds me of a full court press in basketball. Having all 4 of those 3 of those forwards come up, get the pressure as there's a shot.
Look out. Todorovic lined it up from the slot area as Gooley got it to the dangerous paint. Woolery was ready for that one, making his 5th straight start in as many games. He's had the longest win streak this season, and this Chippewa team is getting him ready. I talked to him earlier before this contest, sort of getting ready for that playoff run they want to make to the MCHC tournament coming up in just 2 weeks. They'll take on Michigan, number 13, the reigning national champions, before they go ahead to Crystal Fieldhouse, the new site of the tournament. Usually this is the arena we go to for the MCHC round 1 and 2, but Michigan Flint the host this year. So here's Spencer Messina. Up ahead for Nathan Bottles. Over the line, Isaac Hopp gets it to him, finds some room to work. But Northwood clogs up the middle. They come back the other way. Up right wing. Scaturo finds some space against Schultz. Centering feed in front, and Swoolery found a stick to deflect that attempt away. Now Hop will string it along for Schultz. He's got speed now. 1-on-2. Flooded that off the left leg. That time of Benjamin Bolin defending. Bolin works it to Scaturo along the near boards. Skirts back out to the middle of the ice. Bolin will just trickle this along the far wall, and Zwick will once again dump it, finish the check as CMU. And Northwood, every time they get the red line, it seems like they're in the dump and chase offense, getting new bodies out there.
Yes, Northwood, we've seen a ton of changes. I saw about 5 or 6 changes already, and we're about 5 minutes done with this first period. Lots of changes from Northwood. Didn't see that a lot last night. They want to tire CMU out, so they got fresh faces, and man, if this is their game plan, CMU is going to get tired very quick.
A tough play by Robertson. He tried to hold the line after Porzanik got roughed up in the near far corner. Now he'll take a one-touch pass and getting into it with Richard Graziano. Officials get in there now, lost his stick. Robertson tried to hold out of the line. Graziano finished his check, and Robertson took exception to that. Meanwhile, it looks like we got some players getting off the ice here. So I wonder if there would be a penalty call on either side. They will just whistle this if it went up out of play. High sticking, thank you.
And this high sticking won't affect any team at all.
So Kroll will dig in for the draw at the right wing against Jay Nadeau. One of your players to watch tonight. Had himself 2 goals in that 6-4 win against Northwood. Has been riding a 3-game point streak dating back to their series against Illinois State. Out of the red line. Kroll will get it deep to the boards, and we got a call coming up. Another one, high sticked.
Icing.
Nope, just a high stick. They did call that icing, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Man, what a weird. Well, here's the deal. I thought they got the red line chance on the near side ahead. Officials calling it tight. So we get back to it. Hutton for the face-off win from Porzanik. Centered it to nobody in particular. It's carried out by Harfoot. And a check finished by Robertson. That time on Connor White. Good hip check into his own boards there. Porzanic first to it. Pushes it ahead for Nadu. Cross to Campbell. Missed him on that. Got it deep to the zone. Both teams getting some changes. Campbell up that far wall. Takes the stick away from the defender. A scramble 2-on-2 for the puck. And coming away with it is Gooley. Out of the zone. Leads up the rush with White. He'll set one on it. Easy save by Woolery with the left pad. Losing his footing for a moment there was Will Rapoon. But he gets it up to Armentrout. They'll get out of the zone. Out of the neutral area. Campbell to backhand it out. And a lot of back and forth between these teams. Not really able to set up any kind of forecheck yet. Benjamin Haney, son of women's D2 coach Chris Haney. Lost handle of it. Up to Julian Johnson. Clements will wind up, and that's off the skate of McCarty and out of play.
And shoot that puck, man. These Chippewas love to shoot, and like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, that wasn't a stretch pass at all. That was a clean shot right there, getting up past that blue line and taking the shot. CMU's had good looks today, just not able to connect so far.
Not a penalty in this game yet. CMU was able to capitalize on a power play goal last night from Spencer Messina, which ended up being the game winner. And that was helped out by Nathan Bottle's superb passing play. Will Rapoon trying to hold the line, can't do it. Pressured out by Haney, and he works up the right wing wall and trying to get to the puck first. It's Clements putting out that fire as Rapoon got beat to it. Now Beamish will feed it up to him. Out of the red line. Dump and chase they go. Nathan Bottles in to get after it. Trying to find room to work. They get it up to Haney once again. Played it off the boards. Pressure coming from CMU. Reeder will try and work some room. Todorovic to the slot. Backhands it wide of the left post. And getting back to it is Gooley. Possessed at the near wall. And he lost handle. He's looking for help with Todorovic, and Bottles took off the angle. Now Hop. One-touch passes to Bottles. Upright wing. Gains the blue line now. He'll go in alone. Easily pocket picked there by Scaturo. Bowerson played out of the air. Poke checked by Scaturo again. Good shift by the forward out of Macomb, Michigan. And this one's into the pads of David Gerling out of Chesterfield, making only his third start of the year, Ryan. 1-0 on the year. He came in assistance of Aiden Schultz, who was pulled in that Saginaw series. .895 save percentage, 3.03 goals against average. Native of Anchor Bay High School. Messina got the face-off draw to Connor Morgan. And pressure coming from Scatero, who's had a good shift, so he's going to retreat. Play up for his D partner, Kyle Bowerson. Some line switching up. Messina has been playing with Lucas Hutt in the last 3 games, but talking to Brendan Martin and assistant coach Charlie Hayes, who mans the defensive units, they're going to try and work some different groups around, see what they can get some chemistry on. As here's Messina getting possession back to it. Played it off the end board glass, trying to find Morgan for it. He was contested, and it's rimmed around the boards. Good defensive pressure that time by Lauren Brem. Messina's going to dump this one. It's going to be touched up for an icing. 10:55 to go in this first period.
And what I've seen so far, nice shooting there by CMU, and just overall, we're going to have some fun here tonight. And speaking of fun, just don't forget that the CMU Club Hockey Network YouTube channels is your one-stop shop for highlights, exclusive interviews, and full-game broadcasts for the CMU Men's Division III and Women's Division II hockey teams. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications as to never miss a moment in Chippewa hockey. Just go to YouTube and search CMU Club Hockey Network to find the channel. CCHN, your home for Chippewa hockey. Make sure you subscribe. We're almost at 1,000.
Are we really?
Almost. We're about 700, around the 700, 800
Okay,
range.
that's a little bit far from almost, I would say.
Well,
I think that's 700 over the period of 2.5 years we've been doing this. But I like the optimism. Oh, look out. Near takeaway by Northwood up the left wing. Thomas Kroll going hard to the net. Takes it on Woolery. Point blank save. It's loose in front of the paint. Who's got it? Woolery once, twice, 3 times as White was trying to bang away on the far side of the net, and Woolery stopped all of it.
Woolery.
Best chance of this game for Northwood.
Holy cow, Woolery. 3 shots at him. Incredible save by Woolery. I'm sorry, incredible saves by Woolery, man.
Well, that
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. That first one was just miraculous. As a one-timer by McCarthy miss. Thomas Kroll gained this pickpocket in front of his own bench. Up left wing, outpaced the defense. And Woolery had that initial shot off the blocker, but it was laying there. And Northwood was an inch of a blade away from just tapping it in the loose crease.
They were very close into getting their first goal of the game, but Caleb Woolery all season has been good at saving those shorthanded goals. Man, that just proves that Caleb Woolery, that's all the trust that Coach Martin has in this kid, man. Wow.
Here's Nick Conena for Northwood. Finished the check on Clements, who worked it up the wall to Austin Ritter. Had to retreat with pressure coming. Northwood with the aggressive offense. Rather, offensive attempt, I should say, as they run sort of a three-man unit down deep in that zone. Try and get takeaways. And it's working right now. Central having a hard time possessing this puck for very long. Will Rapoon gets to it. Johnson holds the line. Use the boards around for Ritter. This one's skated after by Bolin, who dumps it around. It'll be played off the glass and another icing. All this start and stop keeps going. 8:59 to go in this first period. Reminder that next week, CMU will take on number 13 Michigan, the reigning national champions from a year ago. Notably last year, if you remember, U of M tied CMU in their first game from Arctic Edge Canton. Central, if they would have won that game, would have surely locked themselves in the national tournament, but they tied it. They lost the next game at home, and it resulted in a final weekend coming down to the wire against Davenport, where they split a series, and it was very up in the air if Central was even going to make the tournament. They ended up at 17 in the country, lost to Oakland in the first round of the playoffs, and based on a team being subbed out for not being able to go, Creighton, they got it as the last team and made it to nationals for the third straight season. So Bottles turned this around in his near boards. Up to Beamish, fourth. Reagan Cleves doing the camera work tonight. Also my substitution and my spotter, I should say. Because God knows I can't get that right. There's Messina into the glove of Gerling.
Spencer Messina able to get that shorthanded shot there, but man, back to this, lots of dump and go offense going on straight here in the first, and lots of stretch passes so far. Devin Sarah mentioned in the beginning of the game, well, when we were getting here, expect a lot of stretch passes on this side, on this sheet of ice, and we've seen a couple.
Well, the speedy Todorovic breaks a 2-out-1 for Northwood. Defensive play made by Bowerson, diving to the ice. He works it up that far wall. Gooley comes in to take it away again. Centering feed, intercepted by Bowerson. He'll dump it off again. McCarthy back to the zone. Thinks about the 1-T. Will drop it off. Todorovic out of the glove of Woolery. Got a piece of it. McCarthy couldn't get the wraparound. Well defended by Messina. Gooley trying to backhand this one. In front. Out of the air. Once, touched 3 times. And now Bowerson will find it under the wickets of Hupp. Through his legs, gets it up to Jace Johnson, who had a goal last night, his second of the season. Johnson, the leading scorer from the MHSAA ranks last year, tries to get a cycle going. Off the skate blade of Hutton. Out of the zone is Aiden French. He'll speed with it wide. Oh, great play by Robertson to get in the way of that puck. They'll push 2 in the corner. Robertson and Jace Johnson get to it. Nifty move to Morgan. Sidesteps a man. Look out. McCarthy was trying to clean his clock for the second straight game. Yesterday, McCarthy laid a brutal hip check on Jace Johnson. And we've got another high sticking call. 6:42 to go in this first period. Bodies flying around. Haven't seen this one get too physical yet, but with all that open ice, how can it?
I've seen a couple physical plays, just mostly from CMU, about a couple minutes back. But I want to talk about Bowerson. Holy cow. Putting his body on the line to able to get that shot from Todorovic. Again, a player that I mentioned in the pregame show as one of the players to look out for. Todorovic, this CMU team is putting all the pressure on him. He's put up a couple goals in the past couple games for Northwood, and Man, CMU knows what to do defensively on players like Todorovic and Gooley.
Clements was looking for Nadu down low. Looked like he missed the net very wide. We got a penalty coming up, and so a power play for the home team, away team, CMU, for that high sticking. Robertson at the point. Works it to Nadu. Takes one on net. Gerling got a piece of the paddle, clang off the lower part of his blocker, and this one's out of play for now. So first power play of the night for CMU.
And like I said in the pregame show, stay disciplined towards the end. Keep it all in. They stay disciplined very well, as you can see. They have the power play going on right now. Man, they can take it. CMU is very good at taking advantage of the power play, as you saw by that shot that almost went in. Wow, just everything.
Here's Clements with a tip in front under the legs of Porzondik, and it skated to the right pad where Gerling found that. More dangerous than it was at first. And Donnelly, you're talking about a power play unit now that, although they were blanked in the second game against Oakland and Illinois State, found one against them, the Redbirds, and one last night from Messina. Here's one from Clements taken. Saved by Gerling. Campbell working around the left point. Back to Clements. Porzondik surveys his options. Drops it off to Campbell. Heads up. Calling for it was Clements. They'll go for the switch now. Campbell from the point. Drops it off to Clements. Doesn't like his look. Turns away from it. Across. One-timer Robertson! And that one, I think, caught Gerling just barely.
Another stretch shot there.
42 seconds left in the power play. Campbell across to Clements again. Trying to work some room. Jay Nadu in front. Gets it for the tip in front. Gerling has it. That one's turned wide now. In front again. Campbell can't lift it. And Gerling got down on the right post. CMU retains possession, however. 5:08 in this first period. 25 on the first power play. Clements to Campbell. Shoots it. And that one's off Gerling's upper chest. And now it's bouncing in front, and he's going to settle things down. And Campbell's going after a Northwood player behind. That's Luke Ciceretto.
15 minutes has gone by in this first period. Wow, that was about like 5 or 6 shots that CMU was giving towards Northwood. And you saw Woolery save 5. Northwood's goalie said, anything you can do, I can do better, saving about 5 or 6 there. Lots of shorthanded shots, saving almost every single one.
That was a really methodical setup from Clements to Campbell. They get the switch initially on the left side of the net. And from the point in, they try to work a one-timer. Gerling standing tall. 10 seconds left in this power play. Messina back to Connor Morgan. Second power play unit out here. 5 seconds left. On the right side, it's Kyle Bowerson. Sidesteps pressure by Kroll. Came to a knee. Out of the box comes French. Back to Morgan, and he couldn't find that from Messina as it was a wide pass. So Northwood is out. They're 0 for 1. The CMU Chippewas cannot capitalize. A lot of shots. David Gerling standing tall and only his 3rd start this year. So here's Robertson winding up. Missed the right corner. Kept in by the alternate captain. Trickled down to Johnson. Taken away off the glass by Kroll. Settled by Harfoot. He couldn't handle it. And now we'll go back and forth. CMU wholesale changes. Still a stalemate. Tied in this one. Devin Serra, Ryan Donnelly from Midland Civic Arena. Battle of M20. Northwood had a good crowd on hand against Saginaw Valley State last week. Not as many today, but still a good amount of supporters here. Is Lucas Hutton out of Novi, former captain there. Taken away by Kroll. Hemmed by Hop. Cross for the glove save. And Bolin. And the Chippewas are out. What a save by Caleb Woolery, getting from right to left.
I thought he was going to score there. I thought Haney was going to score there for his bit. Man, Woolery's been on his horse all game just today. Wow, my mind is blown from that Woolery save. Defensive battle here to start the game. 3 minutes left here in the first.
And here's Nathan Bottles trying to turn around, and a wide shot as he had pressure in his face by Gooley. Boy, we've mentioned the 4-game win streak. Saved 35 of 36 against Oakland University in their 2-1 win 2 weeks ago. And then was perfect against Illinois State, a 7-0 shutout. His first of the season. And he's played ever since pretty much Michigan State struggling. Was pulled against Grand Valley State. has had a tough go against Florida Gulf Coast as well, but tonight so good. He has to be again. This one caught a piece of his glove again. As trickling in was Hartfoot down the right wing, rather Graziano. And now it's Julian Johnson over the blue line, taken away by Graziano. Robertson will wind up. Would have been wide, but Gerling elected to put it off his pads anyway. Robertson holds the line. He'll trickle it in, where Gerling's going to smother this one with 2:09 to go in the first period. Woolery out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. 12 games this year, just over a .92 save percentage. 902. And CMU thinks they've found a netminder for their playoff run coming up. They're going to take on Michigan next week, number 13. And afterwards, we'll figure out where their seeding is. Currently 5th in the MCHC East. 2 points behind Michigan, who's 2 points behind Oakland. And the Golden Grizzlies got the 5-4 overtime victory over U of M last night. So they hold on to the third spot. It would mean they take on currently U of M Flint in the first round of the tournament. Central trying to do something about that. Here's Owen Campbell now. Works it up to Rapoon, who winds up. Good block in front by McCarthy. Porzonic to take away the angle. Nadu to give backhand support. Northwood gets it out of the zone anyway. It's Hartfoot to backhand it to Luke Ciceretto. Up the far wall, he played it. Both teams will change as we approach the 1 minute mark left in the first. Here's Kroll at right wing. Leaves it up for Gooley, who didn't like his attempt. Evaded traffic, and we got some call coming up here. It's going to be on Northwood as Will Rapoon got taken down in the corner. They're going to send off Connor White here.
For what exactly?
Cross-checking.
Cross-check.
So a costly penalty for Northwood. They held CMU scoreless in that first power play 3 minutes ago. But a cross-check by White sets them up with 1:17 to go. 1:06 to go. To dig in for it, it'll be Connor Beamish. He win it. Back to Messina. Plays tag with Bottles. Across the way to Morgan. Looks for room to shoot. Doesn't like his option. Now Messina wants to free it up. Gets it back to Morgan, who button hooks. Morgan at left wing for Johnson. Shoots that one in the net. Whoa! That one stayed out. How in the world did that stay out?
Whoa.
Gerling got a piece. It looked like it skirted inside the right post, but they call it no goal. I was thought that was in.
I thought I saw the puck cross the line, but it was like on the edge.
Sorry, Chippewa fans, for the sudden wow. I cannot believe that's not a goal. Nathan Bottles trying to get it back to Johnson for redemption, and that's played out of the air. I don't know if we can get a replay on that. We have capability tonight with the crew. Reagan's waving me off here. We can't do it, but if you'd like to see that again, rewind. Wow, you be the judge. This one went over the right shoulder, sorry, Ryan, of Gerling's shoulder, and it looked like it bounced in, but
man, I thought they tipped it in, and I thought the puck would like slide right in, but no, it like stayed on. Basically, half the puck was on the line, the other half wasn't. Whoa.
14 seconds to go in this power play. Campbell now winds up. That one's blocked in front by McCarthy. Across the way for Nadu, winds up, and a big block by Thomas Kroll. One last shot of the period by Robertson, and that's off the right pad of Gerling. Time will expire. Northwood gets out, but not without CMU controlling the pace of this one. Frustrated is that CMU bench not able to put it through as David Gerling has come up big. So has Woolery. Lots of goaltending to talk about in the first intermission report coming up, as Ryan Donnelly will have that one for you. We'll talk to you about some scores last night and get you previewed with some games going on today. Don't go anywhere. CMU and Northwood in the final battle of M20 here on CCHN.
We're back here inside the Midland Civic Arena. Ryan Donnelly here to give you the first intermission report. Current score, Central Michigan nothing, Northwood Timberwolves nothing. What a defensive battle this game has played. You saw Kyle Bowerson diving for pucks. You saw Todorovic diving for pucks. You saw Woolery saving pucks. And then you saw Northwood's goalie diving for pucks. This game has been a diving for puck battle, a defensive battle up front. And this first period has got me very excited for what we're about to see in the second and the third period. Man, holy cow. My mind is still wrapped around that last second shot, which everybody thought was the goal, but it ended up not being the goal. The puck did not cross the line completely, and unfortunately it was called a no goal. And that's why we are currently tied here 0-0. And man, if TMU and Northwood play like this last weekend, they got 4 more games left on the season. February 9th and 10th, once again at Northwood. Hockey for free for the rest of the year. John Gervasi will have the calls for you. For Women's Division II last weekend, what a series again for them. They played the Ohio State Buckeyes, coming back in that second game, winning 4-2. What a game, getting all 4 of those goals in the third period. They got Adrian next week. Derek Steele and Parker Morrison will have the call. One will be at Martin Eisteren, and the other will be at Arrington. And both those games will be streamed on CCHN. Taking a look now at the ACHA Top 10, the number 1 seed Grand Valley State Lakers will take on the number 9 seed Michigan State Spartans. The number 2 seeded Lawrence Tech Blue Devils will take on Pitt Johnstown. The number 3 Florida Gulf Coast University will take on number 10 Arkansas. The number 4 seeded Dartmouth will take on New England at New England. The number 5 Hope College will take on Ferris State at Hope. Number 6 Colby will take on Bates at Colby. Number 7 seed, the Air Force, will take on CO Mesilla on February 9th and 10th. The number 8th seed in Missouri will take on Maryville at Maryville. And the number 9 seed, Adrian, will take on the number 10 seed, Saginaw Valley State University, one of the toughest places to play in the ACHA. Taking a look now at our Chippewas scoreboard. Track and field will be taking on Notre Dame Mayo at the Invite this Friday and Saturday. And men's basketball will be taking on BGSU at 5 p.m. Well, that'll do it for our first intermission report. When we come back, Devin, Sarah, and myself will have the second period, so don't go anywhere. You're watching Men's Division III Hockey here on CCHN.
Devin Serra with Ryan Donnelly ringside from Midland Civic Arena. We are scoreless after 20 minutes. Central peppering the shots on in that second power play chance, but a number of block shots in front. Some clutch stops by David Gerling keep it scoreless. Ryan, some sentimental stuff going on between these teams. Benjamin Haney, son of Christopher Haney, who's the Women's Division II coach for CMU here tonight. And he played well so far. He's had a couple of chances and sprung some breakouts for them.
Yeah, Christopher Haney has played very well.
Ben Haney.
Benjamin
You're
Christopher
good.
Haney is the coach. Benjamin Haney is the son. Benjamin Haney, he's had a couple shot opportunities, especially one, his last shot at the end of the first, towards the end of the first. Caleb Willery got the best of it, but man, Benjamin Haney has played unbelievable so far here in this game.
Yeah, both goalies had some major stops. Most importantly, Woolery had one going right to left on a 2-on-1. He got it with the glove, and Gerling had one that we thought was in, bounced over his shoulder on an attempt by Jace Johnson, and ended up skirting past the right post. No goal. It's very close. But we remain scoreless, and we're back underway here. From left to right, CMU in their all maroon and yellow bucket uniforms. Northwood in those white and blue unis. They did an overhaul on these jerseys from the last time we saw them as a program, and they have done a miraculous job with the look. So pretty good. Power play is 22 seconds underway as a shot from Nadu trickled through traffic and blocked eventually wide. It'll go back to their own zone where Porzanic will corral it. One last rush up the right wing. Will take it out. Nadu trails him ahead on the play. Leaves it onside for Porzanic, who finds room to work. That one went off the iron. That one hit right post as Nadu was looking for the tip along that far wall. Power play is over. Out of the box comes Connor White. Back to the defense. That shot from Robertson sails high. Oh, big hit. Whoa, Luke. Oh, my. Brandon Clements is down. Zachary McCarthy clean his clock in that far corner. And Clements is down on two knees.
And most likely will.
On wall style. That was massive.
That was an insane hit. There was no penalty called yet.
And we've got to stop here as one of the Zamboni staffmen here is looking at a chipped part of the ice at the end board. They're going to take him off now as the official over there and Sammy Chiggy will sort things out. And that's Kyle Bowerson talking to him over there about that chipped part of the ice. I'd rather correct myself. That's Jason Rupel. I got their names. I wanted to shout them out, but obviously I don't know them by face, as you can tell. Then who was that? Who is that guy? Not Rupel. Okay, Reagan, thank you.
Reagan Cleaves, everybody.
Having an impact even though he's not on the call with us. Doing a good job running the sticks.
It's just proof that broadcasters are sometimes not perfect.
I don't think we're ever perfect. I don't think perfect is an attainable goal. It's an attainable goal, but I don't know if you can be
We try to be perfect. But
you know what Yoda says, there's no try, only do. And we are doing this delay right now. We're going to throw it to break for just a moment as they work on the ice. 18:50 to go in this second period. Still scoreless here from Midland Civic Arena. update for you here on CCHN as we are 18:50 to go in the second period. There is a delay on the game for a missing chunk of ice in the near corner of Northwood's end to our left as camera focuses on North Bench right now. There was a missing chip of ice just where the corner boards meet sort of the entrance door for it. They had a staff member working on filling chunks of the ice in there and a big stopper to put sort of the ice pack in there. And what they're doing now is putting liquid inside that gap to fill it, but it takes time to freeze with a lengthy delay. So that's why we have the stoppage of play. Teams are able to move around, able to talk amongst themselves on their benches, but that's what the stoppage of play is for. Some work being done on this near corner ice. Good shot by our cameraman, Cameron Reagan Cleaves over there. So that's what this delay is for, and we're going to step aside for a little bit longer, and once we are back, we should be resuming play shortly as CMU and Northwood are still scoreless in the early portion of this second period. Stay with us. And play will now resume as the ice has frozen in that corner. Officials have regained the teams, and we're going to get a face-off draw in CMU's own end. And Thomas Bechdahl off the draw, off the skate blade of Brendan Schultz out of play. And a fun thing that happened earlier today, Keelan Baker, former captain of this D3 team, resumed return and went to the locker room for the pregame hype to get the starting lineups of the team. It was a great little gesture there. Caught up with him for just a moment as I was getting some of the scorings from the PA table earlier. And Keelan Baker, good to see him again. Longtime fan favorite of this team. Always good to get the alumni involved. Check out our Instagram page, CMU Hockey D3, to find that video. So here's Spencer Messina up the far wall. One touched off the blade of Brendan Schultz. Northwood, however, regains it. Behind Messina, Connor Morgan is going to be the one streaking down right wing, trying to center it up for Morgan. Then taken off the angle there by Todorovic. Bowerson lost handle of that one. Pressured by Gooley. This one settled down by Gerling out of his own end. CMU will change. Here's Peacock. Up left link for Todorovic. Puts one on net. Easy save by Woolery. Reclaimed by Hutton off the glass. Up to Hop. Now Beamish will flutter the red line, dump it in. Ciceretto gets to it. Be pressured to the corner. Checked by Beamish. French to angle him away. Hop regains it, however. Feeds it up to Bottles. Mishandled that. Robertson on the support, and Gerling got a piece of that. Here's Robertson. Out of the air by French. Bottles. Assisted on the game-winning goal last night, and Hop will put this into the chest of Gerling.
Great teamwork there by Kyle Bowerson. The puck almost got a turnover, but he's able to get the shot off there. And props to the Midlick Civic Arena staff here to fix that little chip in the ice, getting us back here in play. But other than that, besides that, man, see, it's all CMU. They've good puck possession and good teamwork, especially from guys like Kyle Bowerson.
Yeah, you know, I had a chance to talk to some of the CMU scratches in that break, and a lot of the conversation was Central can control the play when they're really intentionally moving the puck, a.k.a. carrying it themselves, working up the wings with speed, and not dumping it. Northwood kind of has a dump and chase style of offense in their forecheck that really is all emphasized on getting the forwards deep, but when you do that, it takes away all of that puck possession. And Central is the faster team, so they need to be possessing the puck more as Northwood clamps down on the strong sides. So Hutton out of his own end, to button hook this puck away from Graziano. Taken away by the forward Kanena. Ritter. Long stretch pass. Connects from Morgan. Got it on net. Sticked away by Whirling. Porzanic evades pressure by McCarthy. Robertson will work the near side. Nadu with pressure. Back to Robertson. Winds up with the shot. Out of the glove of Gerling. Looking for the tip from Nadu. Lucas Hutton puts out the fire on Hartfoot. Robo can't find Campbell. Ciceretto under the legs of Porzanic. Good play by Robertson to stand up Kroll. Allows Porzanic room to work. Looks back for his help, and he misses that feed to Nadu behind him trailing. Still scoreless. 15:33 to go in the second. Devin Serra, Ryan Donnelly. Final game between CMU and Northwood. Pending they don't see each other in the tournament. Owen Campbell over the blue line. Nifty moves. Lost handle of it himself. Got it back as Ciceretto tried to dump it away. Campbell once, twice, three times loses the puck. Nady will have to dump it. Hutton will change with Rapoon at defense. Campbell now tries to feed it up to Schultz. One time, and the chest protector, Whirling, got a piece. That one on the strong side. He clamped down the left post area, and Schultz was able to reclaim possession. Johnson looks for room to Rapoon. Takes it! Scores! Rapoon! A wrister from the points. Gets over the shoulder of Woolley. The Chippewas break the ice. 1-0.
Will Rapoon, first shot of the night, first goal of the night for CMU. And you saw Bowerson, you saw Robertson taking these shots. It was Will Rapoon who got that first goal. 1-0 CMU. What a shot. Another stretch pass by the CMU, and this one it worked out in their favor.
Yeah, and the man in front trying to take away the eyes was Brendan Schultz. His initial shot was saved in the left post, and they worked it up to the point. And for Will Rapoon, the sophomore out of Saginaw, Michigan, that's his first goal of the season. First goal as a Division III Chippewa. And it gives his team the 1-0 advantage early in this second. So Johnson and Morgan, two young guys, will try and free it up in the attacking zone. Trying to get it back to Morgan that time and just barely missed him. Peacock in the trapezoid. Up left wing. Bechtel. Haney couldn't get through the body of Clements. Turnaround shot, never got there. Johnson took the angle away. Haney gets to it. So Rapoon with the goal. Jace Johnson and Schultz with the assists. That is now Jace Johnson's third game in the last four with a goal or an assist. Good work for the young forward who's really found a stride here these last 4 games on the 4-game winning streak. Central the longest since the opening of last season.
Jace Johnson, assist number 6 on the year. Like I mentioned in the pregame show, he loves to pass the puck. He was one of our impact players, actually, so he got an assist there. He loves to pass the puck. As you heard from the PA, he did get the assist on that one. And, man, point number 7 for Jace this year.
Corralled out of his own end by Northwood's Bolin. They find some room to work. Here's a shot from the strong side, saved by Woolery. From Skituro. Messina pounds him in that far corner. Helped out by Bottles. Trying to work it free as the Northwood forward and Aiden French. He finds room to work. Evades pressure. Wraps behind the net. Up to the point for Bolin. Across the way for Ciceretto. Pressured by Armand Trout. Settled down by Zwick. Looks for room to work. Zwick takes one on net. Turned wide. Bolin holds the line, however. French up that near wall. Taken away on the angle by Bowerson. Now it's sticked away by Hop. They keep it in. French looks for a one-time shot. It's saved by Woolery, and he'll scoop it back into his pads to settle play down.
French, again, another one of those players that likes to shoot the puck, and again, just like Velovic, those shots have not fallen at all in CMU. Everything is going CMU's ways, and it's impressive from what we've seen from CMU and Northwood so far. French was unable to connect with that shot, unfortunately.
Ciceretto looking for the tip from Canetta, and that one redirected. It's still wide in front. Puck is loose. Woolery didn't see it for a moment, but the attacker Westendorf couldn't get there in time. That puck sat there for what felt like an hour on that right post, and Northwood can't get to it first.
And Caleb Woolery, like we mentioned in the first, impressive start here tonight. Wow, Caleb Woolery, you saw that. That puck was there for, like you mentioned, almost like an hour it felt like. Able to get it there. Incredible saves today from Woolery.
So that stop keeps Northwood scoreless in this game. Northwood had 13 shots, or rather 8 in that first period. CMU had 13. Look out! Turnaround in front by Todorovic. Missed the right post. Cooley can't hold it in. Bechtel finished on the check by Armentrout. Todorovic turns around. Settles it deep to the zone for Haney. Mishandled the puck. That's Robertson to take it away. Flipped into the air. Didn't gain the red line, so Bechtel will touch up and it will come back for icing.
And again, like another play that we mentioned, Ben Haney. He was not able to connect there, and CMU was able to get the icing there to get another face-off. But, man, defense, defense, defense. Now going CMU's way, not allowing a goal so far here in the second period. Just incredible defense we've seen all around, not only from defensemen, just forwards in general. Everybody is doing their part in playing good defense.
Well, they've been holding Northwood to the outside, making him work high to low. They can't get a centering feed more than maybe once or twice in this game. And apart from that miraculous chance earlier by Todorovic in the first, they have not been able to capitalize on CMU's turnovers just yet. Here's Porzanik with help from Robertson. Trying to get it to his D partner, Hutton. He mishandled that one. Gives Northwood wholesale time to change. 10:40 to go, second period. Central up 1-0 on the first goal of the season by Will Rapoon. At the near wall, Hutton tagged up with Porzanik. Takes one on net, looking for the tip from Nadu. Gerling stopped it. Another try from Robertson, turns wide. Hutton, psycho to Porzanik again. Central on the attack. Nadu over his wicket. Turnaround shot from Robertson bounces in, and Gerling will easily glove this one.
The broadcast of today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the American Collegiate Hockey Association, the CMU Club Hockey Network, and Moore Hall Television. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distributions of the descriptions or any accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the ACHA, CCHN, and MHTV.
So they'll get the scoring line out there again. It's the second line of Schultz, Morgan, and Johnson. And here's Jace Johnson, a speedy, talented forward. Evaded a check by Ciceretto, got to the front of the net, and couldn't handle the pass by Schultz. It's taken down, however. Those two are battling deeply. Bodies flying in that far corner. Johnson connects to Morgan. Tries to take one on net, and McCarthy, frustrated, loses his stick. Ciceretto, 2 Chippewas in his face. Here's Johnson.
And it's because of the discipline from both teams. Not a power play in this period. Just a power play towards the beginning of the period that followed from the last period. Just not a lot of stops and a lot of dumps and goes. And that's another key that I had, which was discipline.
Yeah, Northwood has yet to take a penalty in this game. Central wished they had one a moment ago there, but we stay 5-on-5. Nathan Bottles tries to cut inside of the net. Takes it on the right post. Todorovic cut off the angle. Bowerson winds up. It's loose in front of the body of Bottles. Still in front. And now Whirling's got it under himself. That one bounced once, twice off the glass. A weird play in front. And finally, Whirling was able to settle things down and get a face-off.
A flurry of 1,000 pucks, as I like to call it. Wow, he got 2 pucks saved right in front of him, able to get it all. Got all 2 shots there. There's a puck right towards the left side of his skate, and he was able to protect it. Again, although he has given up a goal, he has played phenomenal today.
Northwood tries to get it out. They can't do it. Bottles held the line behind the net. Tries to get it up to Hop. He mishandled that. Messina keeps it in. Carrot at the left point. Pressured by Haney. Cycles on the wall down to Bottles. Under duress. Messina winds up off the blocker of Whirling. Beamish turns around. One more time for Messina. The quarterback of this play will find Hop. Across. Still loose. Under the legs. Trying to get it to Hop again was Bottles. And that was taken away by Todorovic. Now Peacock will cut off Hop in that corner. Bottles gets it back. He'll turn around. Loose in front. And Northwood evades the pressure. Bechtal was able to stick that away. And Northwood all of a sudden has possession in the attacking zone. Here's room to work. That one to one knee was blocked by Bowerson. Still loose under his legs, and he'll get it out of harm's way. And Bechtal with 2 Chippewas in his face. Austin Ritter. Easy save by Whirling. Kanena out of the air. Play it up the far wing with speed. Here comes Westendorf trying to leave the trailer. And I think Woolery snapped that off his blocker. McCarthy can't hold it, so he's going to retreat. 7:18 to go, second period. CMU up 1-0. The Timberwolves trying to get on the board. We were back and forth yesterday in this series. Northwood was able to tie up the game at 3 apiece. Entering the third period. Down 1-0 in this one. A shot from the point. Stopped by Woolery and cleared out by Robertson.
Nice clear by Kyle Robertson. Wow. As we got a nice thing.
But doing that will ice it, so it has to be drawn again. Central has dominated in the face-off circles. That's not something we've touched on a whole lot, especially in their own zone. If Northwood gets a clean draw, they have a very potent cycle from the point with the likes of McCarthy and Ciceretto to their head man. It's the second line out there for them. It's Kroll along with Harfoot. And a shot there saved by Woolery off the right pad. Push to the corner. Robertson with White coming in his face. It's loose in the slot area now. Julian Johnson takes that one away. Porzonic up right wing. Good poke check on the play by Hartfoot. And here comes Northwood on the breakout. 2-on-1 develops. White to the net. Looks for a lane, and Lucas Hutton put out the fire. At the point, they can't hold it in. They caught CMU on some changes on this near wall. Lucas Hutton got back to him. Robertson evades a check. Porzonic into the slot. One-timer. It's loose. Score! White on the redirection on the near side. And Northwood has answered. We're tied at 1.
Man, what an impressive goal there by White. Getting on the right side, able to shoot that puck right in. Man, Woolery, who has played phenomenal today. He looks a little upset, but nonetheless, still a great goal by White. Tie game with 6:05 left to go.
As we see it on the replay here, that initial shot from the point got redirected once. Connor White was sitting on the left side of the net, and he banks it in. It's his 3rd goal of this weekend series. Had 2 last night for his 5th of the year. Forward out of Bay City, Michigan, of Midland High School. Had a very successful season in high school. 19 goals, 24 assists for 43 points. But that goal ties things up here with 5:54 to go in the second period. Central has dominated the puck possession time, but Northwood just won't go away.
Northwood will not go away. You see lots of defense by CMU. They were able to pick it back up. They've been able to pick it up all game. Northwood will not let them get out of their heads.
Schultz attempted a shot that was blocked by Bechtal, so it'll go up into the netting. And among the things that matter for this game, Central is trying to volley for a potential 4th spot in that MCHC East. The best that they can get is 3rd. as Lawrence Tech and Saginaw both swept the Chippewas, so they're out of contention for the top 2 spots. But being anywhere from the 3rd spot to the 5th matters a ton, especially if we have some upsets in this tournament. We've seen this year some of the bottom half teams be able to contend with the best of the MCHC. U of M Flint has been not a great team this year, but they did beat the Chippewas. Todorovic, as Woolery stood up and stopped that with his right skate. But this game matters. Central's 5th in the MCHC East right now. With a win, they would move to 15 points, tied with Michigan, and next week could be a potential tiebreaker for that seeding. Wouldn't really matter in the first round. 4th and 5th seed will play each other. Bechtel from the point, redirected once, and Woolery on the strong side finds it.
Caleb Woolery, after giving up that goal, he said no problem. Got right back in his crease, able to save that puck right there. Something about Caleb Woolery that he's done all year. If he gets a goal or 2 scoring on him, he shakes it right off, and he gets right back into the zone. He does not get in his own head, which helps a lot, especially as a goaltender. That's what I love about Caleb Woolery.
The assists on Connor White's goal go to Thomas Kroll, along with, looks like McCarthy. They called number 40, but I don't see a number 40 on Northwood's roster, so must be a
numbers change
play there. Yeah, could be. I don't. Or maybe I'm just dead wrong. But regardless, Kroll is his 5th of the year. Central trying to answer. Nathan Bottles skates his way in. That one, I think, clanged iron. But it's up into the netting, so we'll do the draw again.
Isaac Hopp able to get that shot up into the net, but man, this Central team is not letting themselves get in their own heads. As you saw, great puck possession in that last possession, and just it's going to be a fun last 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Beamish got the angle taken away by McCarthy. Out of the air, he's going to dump this one down the ice. Way out of the net to play it is Woolery. He'll bank it off the glass. Had to make it a save after Scaturo was first to the puck at that far wall. Ahead, Hop touched by Bottles to stay onside. Cicerello there first to it. Under duress is Northwood. Nathan Bottles. Flutters around once, twice. Robertson attempted a one-timer, played out of the air. Waved off the high stick. Northwood numbers the other way. Here's Aiden French to the net, loose in front! And Woolery sat down on that puck with Scaturo coming into the slot area. They were looking for a very similar goal to what they just had, a tip in front, and Woolery made that save.
Holy cow. As the Nets comes off its moorings, as the refs are trying to fix that. Caleb Woolery has played phenomenal, as we have a penalty called on Porzondik. He'll go to the box for 2 minutes.
I took down a man in front of that one for cross-checking. Part of that was the reason the net came dramatically flying off its moorings. So this is Northwood's first power play of this hockey game. 3:44 to go in the first. We're tied at 1. Most recent goal by Thomas Kroll, his 3rd of the series. McCarthy across the way. A shot on net, saved by Woolery. Far corner, chance by Bechtel. Look to get it to Haney. Central closes off that side of the ice. Haney now will reverse field to McCarthy again. Back up to the point for Todorovic. Now they'll wind up another try, and that's turned wide by Bechtel. Todorovic calling for it was Haney in that near corner. Lost handle of it. Gets pushed to the boards by Campbell, who's all over the Northwood forwards on this side. Redirect across in the paint. Scramble for it. And a whistle's called, and we got Lucas Hutton in the face of Harfoot. The referees get in there. And that was a backdoor one-timer attempted to Bechtel. They got all of it, but Woolery was ready for that.
Bechtel has had a couple opportunities so far in this game to score, but unable to connect. But man, Caleb Woolery, once again, not getting in his own head. as the refs are going to readjust. Wow.
Northwood still on their first power play of the night with 1:14 to go on it. It's Morgan to dig in against Canetta. Northwood won the draw. A worm to work for White, and a glove save by Woolery. Net is off. Northwood thinks they have a goal. They do not. The puck bounced off the mask of Woolery straight into the air and had the chance to bounce off his back in. And CMU might have tried to intentionally knock that net off to avoid that happening. But they scale away with no call there. And they're going to do the draw again. That one was odd. So odd bounces happening late in this second period.
Looked like the puck went on top of the net.
So Gooley, it did. Gets it down to White. 1 minute to go on their power play. To Canetta. Defended by Messina, or rather Clements. Cooley now, reverses field. Connor Morgan trying to poke check him. Now White, across, room to shoot, and that one's turned wide from Kroll. They keep the zone. White gets it up. Good job by Gooley to evade pressure. And Northwood mishandled the puck as Schultz in a race for it after White. Gets to the puck first. Will just take a saucer shot. It goes over the net wide of Gerling. Kills off some time here. Kroll to the center zone. Looks for room to work. Waits for help to come with him. One-on-one against Connor Morgan. Kroll gets it down to Canetta. Near side. Stick check by Clements. Back to Canetta. With room to work. Pushed down to the ice by Clements. There's 2 seconds left, and CMU's out of dodge. Back to full strength with 1:41 to go in the second. Gooley by Connor Beamish. Looks to turn wide. Shot on net. Off the paddle of Gerling. Taken by Hutton now. They settle it down. Trying to get it to Hutton. Now one-timer by Robertson missed. 1 minute to go in the second period.
Man, Kyle Robertson's had a lot of opportunities to score today. Not able to connect though, but holy cow. Kyle Robertson.
And it's scooped by Woolery with 46 to go. And Beamish really did a nice job picking off this play. Northwoods were trying to get it through the center zone at their own blue line, and Beamish took it away, led to that scoring chance. And they haven't tested Gerling a lot later in this second period. It's been all Northwood with peppering power plays and odd bounces. Woolery, another good save. On the strong side, it comes in front of the net for Gooley. He can't get a clean shot off. Now he'll turn around. Blocked by Nadu. Can't clear the zone. This one under Todorovic. Over the head of Woolery. And behind the net it goes. Todorovic tries to center it up, but he can't do it. Porzanic tried to stretch it ahead for Campbell. Defended out by Bechtal. Now Chippewas have numbers. Here's Campbell over the line. From behind the net, scoops it in front, Porzanic, and Gerling made the stop. Benjamin Haney, 7 seconds left, over the blue line, turns left side, saved in front by Woolery, and it's kicked out, and that's going to do it for the period. Sparks fly late as Thomas Kroll and Connor White connect on Northwood's only goal. CMU gets out of dodge many times over. And Northwood has come to play. We're tied heading into this third period. I will have the second intermission report for you to update you on our Chippewa scoreboard and some out-of-towns to be aware of. Don't go anywhere. We got a good one, folks, in the final game between CMU and Northwood in Men's Division III. Don't go anywhere on CCHN. we're back for the second intermission report briefly here on CCHN. 1-1 is the score as Connor White has his third goal of this weekend to give Northwood the evening advantage, assisted by Thomas Kroll, where a funky shot from the point bounces off a body, which happens to be White on the left side of the net, through Woolery, who's had to been tested a lot later in that period, but he's come up tall when they've needed him. On the other side of things, David Gerling for Northwood has made a couple of stops from slot chances and crashes in front of the net, but both netminders have been controlling this game, and it's why the score results in 1-1. Let's get you some out-of-town scoreboards real briefly here. Last night, Michigan State lost 5-4 to number 1 Grand Valley State. That's 1 against number 9. Meanwhile, Michigan lost to Oakland University 5-4 in overtime. That game is big because it has implications for seeding in the MCHC East. Oakland is currently the number 3 team in the MCHC East, followed by Michigan at 4, and your Central Michigan Chippewas at 5. Some professional out-of-town scoreboards to update you on. Griffins are at Manitoba next week. They took down the Ice Hogs last night on home ice. Bob Kaiser and Larry Figursky will have the call on Wood Radio 1300, 106.9 FM, and AHL TV. The Spirit are against Barrie tonight for a 7 p.m. puck drop from Dow Event Center. Dylan Clark has the call on 100.5 WSGW and CHL TV. Meanwhile, the Red Wings are in the All-Star break right now. Alex DeBrincat is representing them. The All-Star game takes place today from Toronto in the Scotiabank Center. But when they return, it'll be against Vancouver on February the 10th on 97.1 The Ticket with Ken Cow and Paul Woods. And, of course, Bally Sports Detroit's Ken Daniels and Mickey Redmond. That's all we have for the second intermission report. 1-1 is the score. The only goals from Will Rapoon for CMU and Connor White, for Northwood. 1-1 after 40 minutes. Final 20 coming out next, and the final 20 of Battle of M20. That's a lot of words. We're back next on CCHN. It's the final game between Central Michigan and Northwood as men's Division III opponents in the ACHA. The final 20 is next in the battle of M20. Devin Serra and Ryan Donnelly with you for a good one. Northwood answered at 4:30 of that second period from Connor White on a tip in front off a shot from Connor Kroll. And that one made the difference as Northwood tied this hockey game up. Ryan, Northwood came to play today. They have been peppering the goaltender, Woolery. They had 18 shots to outshoot the Chippewas in the second.
And Northwood, it was all Northwood last period, and it was all CMU in the first period. Now we got to figure out whose period this is. If Northwood took over all of last period, and that's why they got that goal. If Northwood keeps the momentum from last period, I could see them possibly notching in a goal and CMU getting stuck. But, man, this has been one of the classics here in this rivalry, and it's a great classic because it's the last one.
We were tied yesterday at 3 apiece heading to the final 20. Central scored 3 goals to go ahead and win 6-4. A similar bout tonight as this one. Trickles in front. Right to left, CMU in the maroon and gold sweaters. Northwood in the all-white unis. That nice blue striping in the middle. Lucas Hutton, the freshman of Novi, scutters this in. Taken out of the air by Peacock of New Baltimore. This one played off the glass. One-on-one. Robertson puts out a fire on Scaturo. He'll button hook this one back where Schultz plays it out of the air of his glove. Look for numbers up ahead. The youngsters. Jace Johnson skirts it up with Connor Morgan. Takes a shot on net. Easy paddle save by Whirling. Kicks out to the far side where it's French trying to corral it under himself. Schultz got that puck taken away there from the forward Brem. And Rapoon, great job coming back the other way. Morgan, one-touch pass, too strong for him. He'll bump shoulders with Ciceretto, turns around him to find that puck. Both teams are scoreless on their power play chances. It's been mostly 5-on-5, only 3 including both. Now this one from a short side is touched by Morgan and scooped by Whirling.
And Growling has been in his crease all game, although he is giving up that one goal. Both Woolery and Gerling have been playing phenomenal games, and it's only going up from here in this third period, Devin.
Draw to the right circle with Nadeau against Kroll. And David Gerling, who's only played in 2 games before this today, has been terrific. Came in with a .895 average, .303 on the year, goals allowed. But tonight, this has probably been his biggest test of the season. Central is unranked, officially 30th in the country. Northwood's 37th. But their main starter has been Aiden Schultz for the good part of this year. Tonight, though, they went with the youngster. And look out, it's loose in front as Northwood tried to backhand this one in front for Hardfoot, and it took away the angle. Here's Peacock from the point. Wide of the shot, well. Trying to bounce this one up to Connor White, and he was nowhere in sight. Jay Nadeau now flutters it over the red line to go off for changes. Brendan Clements in after. First to it is White. Up the glass. Bottles through the center zone. Taken away by White, who's had a good shift defending away. He'll go off now. Here's Kanena. Tried to get it back to Peacock and mishandled it. This one all the way down the ice for an icing.
And once again, just great defense all around from both teams. It looks like, from what we've seen here, from about 2 minutes and 46 seconds to go left here, or gone here in the third period, it looks like it's going to be a very even battle. Both teams are playing phenomenal defense. Both goaltenders playing very well, and this is going to be a fun third period to the finish.
The youngster Hop gets it up to Messina. They'll work this side of the ice for Connor Beamish. Nathan Bottles, one-tie teed, and Gerling out of the pad scoops it. Now that is a good example of what Gerling's been ready for all night. Central trickles it from low to high, gets a shot point blank for Bottles, and Gerling, confident as ever, paddles it up and gloves it.
Gerling has been confident all period, as you saw by that little glove catch he made after the save. But, man, confidence is key, especially as a goalie, and Gerling has shown that all period.
Stalemate at the right circle, kept in by CMU, but not up. Now it will be touched by Bottles. Had a beautiful assist yesterday on the game-winning goal. He'll wrap it around the net, looking for his options. Drop the trailer there for Bowerson. Funneled to Beamish behind the net. And after it is Hop. First to it was Todorovic. And now they'll trickle for it at the half wall. Up and out of the zone. Messina can't keep it in. He'll have to retreat and dump it what he will. Off goes Senior for the changes, and they're going to call that one an icing because it was behind the red line.
And a lot of stops we've seen so far as 3 minutes have gone by here in the third. And it's like in the beginning of the period, we saw a lot of stops. In the second period, we didn't see a lot. And 3 minutes has gone by, and we've seen a lot of stops, but not a lot of dump and chases from Northern. We saw a lot of dump and chases Northern. Lots of dumps and goes from Northern. And we haven't seen that much since the first, yeah.
That one touched by Beamish at the red line, keeps it onside. Rather avoid the icing. McCarthy now out of the zone, can't hold it for Haney. He gets it back now, and Benjamin Haney will look up for a one-tie. Block off. Pad of Woolery. More of an odd sequence. Took that one on net, and it bounced to that far corner. Now Robertson. Turn around. Dump attempt. Sent back in by Bechtal. Here's Hutton. Worked up the wall for Morgan. Up but not out. Blocked in front by Robertson. Evades traffic. Schultz played it off the glass. Scaturo there to pressure him. French is able to push Scaturo in after it. Robertson finishes the check up that near glass. Hutton against Brem. Got the better of it, the Chippewas did. Morgan out of traffic. Northwood looked to reset out of the neutral zone. Here's Robertson now. Up the far wall. Missed Campbell, who turned around for some reason. This one's sent back by Peacock, but they're going to lift an icing call.
Very interesting icing call. I thought I saw a CMU skater touch it before the blue line. I had no idea that was an icing. But anyways, 5 minutes and 1 second has gone by here in the third.
Yeah, they've been on the spot with the icings. They were very close with the red line in the first period, and so far they're not letting anything go. If you're at the red line behind it, you dump that puck, they're gonna settle the play back. And Clements at the point tries to trickle one inside, and it turned wide of the right post. Now a turnaround sharp angle shot by Bowerson, rather Campbell missed. Rapoon holds the line, wraps the boards now. Touched by Campbell, looking to cycle with Porzondik. Nadu's in after it to help as the third forward. At the point, Clements tries to look for room to shoot. Off the block by Bechtal, is out. 1-on-2 alone, comes in Harfoot. He evades pressure for now. Looks for an open ice area. Backhanded. Woolery got the paddle. Connor White for Kroll down there. Working behind the trapezoid. And we got a whistle coming up. It's going to be played with a hooking. And that means some extra stuff. Look out. Campbell and Gooley are getting into it next to the ref at that far half wall. The initial signal was a hooking, and it is. It's a hooking call on Jay Nadu. So it's Northwood going to their second power play of the night. They're 0 for 1. At a crucial time with 14:16 to go in the third period.
CMU has tried to stay disciplined. This is only their second penalty kill today. They've played very good disciplined hockey so far. It's just in a crucial time like this, you do not want to be on the PK.
Northwood has not scored a power play goal. Central hasn't allowed one in 3 straight. First time they've done that all year. They got to keep it up right here. Connor Beamish, great defensive work on Gooley and Kroll that time. Connor White trying to find under his wickets. Look at Nathan Bottles, who had a shorthanded goal against Illinois State last week. Pressures him. Helped out by Beamish now. White will gain the zone, but not without Beamish dumping the length of the ice. Good first 30 seconds of this penalty kill. Off Hill will go, replaced by Morgan and Schultz. Here's Nick Canena. Left it off for Donald Gooley, up right wing. With speed, takes a check by Schultz. He'll get it deep to the zone. Backhanded this one up the far side. Morgan's first to it, and more time is killed off. Northwood cannot find any sort of rhythm. So they're going to make wholesale changes again. Timberwolves will. They'll start out the breakout. Here's Todorovic. Missed on the pass to Kroll. It allows Central's Kyle Robertson to lift it in the air. On comes Campbell, Porzondik, Messina, and Hutton to kill this 38 seconds left. Left wing, Thomas Bechtel evades traffic. Gets onside. Winds up with a shot. Weren't roofed it over the right corner. Benjamin Haney now. Looking for room to work it in front. Backhanded, scramble, and that's cleared away by Owen Campbell, but into the bench area.
What a clear.
It's going to stay inside this zone.
What a clear by Campbell. Wow.
Well, you mean good or bad?
Well, still,
it's going to stay in the zone.
They still, I know, I understand, but still, they did not allow that puck to go in, even with the short. Even with the short hand.
Right on the doorstep. I think that was Hartfoot trying to jam away at it. Northwood wins the draw. Back to the point for McCarthy. They'll wrap it around. Here's Hartfoot. Back up to Bechtel. Defended by Porzondik. 6 seconds left. O'Jay Nadeau's out of the box. Haney pressured by Clements. And they have to retreat. Power play is over. Northwood goes 0 for 2. Both teams in that category. And Northwood's going to change. Central. 12:06 to go. Looking for their final win. Stretch pass up the Porzondik connects. One-timer from a sharp angle. Easily saved by Gurley. Played up that far wing. Messina now. Pushed it back. French. In after it. Scatero gets to it. In after French. Lucas Hutton out of the air. Lifts it to Peacock. Connects to Beamish, and Beamish had a great lift from Hutton. Taken away. Jay Nadeau now one-on-one gets poke checked. Chippewas get it back. Connor Beamish looks to wrap this one around. In front for Owen Campbell. Can't get a shot off. Robertson on the back pressure. Gets it back deep to the zone. At the far wall. They'll tag up to the point. Robertson cycles down to Nadeau. He's able to settle that one down behind the net. And that one's wrapped around by Peacock. Up but not out. Lucas Hutton holds the line. Plays that near wall for Beamish. Now Campbell will get to it. Reclaimed by Robertson. Puts it on net. Easy save by Girling off the right pad. Hutton looks for some open ice to work with. He'll turn wide against 1-on-4, giving his team time to change. Gets it back. Good play by the freshman. Owen Campbell now. In front, trickling puck. First to it is Beamish. Loose on the front doorstep. Schultz. And the player that sits on it is Ciceretto into Gurling. And a hook and call is coming up.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. What a possession by CMU. They've kept the puck in Northwood zone for about 2 minutes. Wow, 10:44 left to go here in the third.
And that's a hooking penalty on Lauren Brem of Northwood. Central is going to go to their third power play of the night at one of the most crucial times. 10:44 to go.
And this is huge if you're CMU. Now you have 4 people on the ice for Northwood, and their CMU is the past 5 games have been really good on the power play.
Here's Jace Johnson. Oh, too far from him and trying to connect with Bottles that time. And it bounces off the near boards all the way to Woolery, who settles it down for Messina. Evades pressure to Dorovic with speed. Button hooking is Morgan, upright wing. Stretch pass connects to Bottles. Has Beamish down the slot area. Stopping on a dime, looking for his options. Across the way, he's got Morgan. Nathan Bottles takes it on net. Gurling found it under his pads, and no rebound comes.
If you're looking for game reports, stats, schedules, and more, take a trip to cmitchicehockey.com. There you will find those and much more, including player information, recruiting information, apparel, and more. That's cmitchicehockey.com.
Draw will come to the right circle. Beamish up against Aiden French. French won it back. They played it up the glass, not out. Here's Beamish now. Tries to think about cutting inside. He'll turn wide now. Wanted to get it to Jace Johnson. Zachary McCarthy was there. Johnson now winds up looking for a tip to Beamish and couldn't get a blade on it. Bottles at that far half wall. 1:10 to go in the power play. Some open ice. The Olympic sheet here. Works the cycle down to Jace Johnson. Can't find it under his wickets. They'll battle for it up the half wall. Northwood wins that one back, and they'll kill some more time. Under 10 minutes to go in the final battle of M20 between CMU and Northwood. Central has won 13 straight in this series. The last time Northwood won was 5-4 on their ice. In 2016, look out, that whistle evaded a near big collision by Johnson and Peacock. And if you remember yesterday, Johnson at this point in the game took a huge hit from Zachary McCarty out of his own trapezoid. It was a massive hip check, highlight worthy. But Johnson got a goal in that game, so, everything evened out. 45 to go in the power play. Nadu for Clements. Todorovic to defend him. Dumped by Robertson. In after it is Porzondik, supported by his second forward, Nadu. Falls to the ice, taken away by Todorovic. He has speed, he can fly. Todorovic shorthanded. Great play by Robertson to take away the angle. But this is killing off more time. 20 seconds to go. Central Michigan now has 5-on-3. Todorovic lost his skate. The unit moves up the ice. Campbell, left wing, 10 seconds left. Takes it on net, and that one was well wide. So Todorovic's first tort, they're out of the zone. Thomas Kroll, one-on-one winds up, blocked by Clements. But the power play is over. CMU 0 for 3. So now they have to do it all over again. Clements dumps this one over the blue line. Connor Beamish in after it. Up against Brem at that far wall. Pinched off the angle. Bottles came in to help him. There's Kroll over there, along with Brem for Northwood. And hemming them in the zone still is Nathan Bottles. Officials want them to free it up. They do. Hop backhands this one to Bottles. Goes back to Hop. The freshman one touches it up to Robinson at the point. Takes a one-timer blast, and a call is coming up here. They've got a cross-checking call here, I think, on a Chippewa.
A crucial time for Northwood to get that 5-on-4. Not good if you're CMU, but one thing that I have noticed, besides the penalty, is that even on this Olympic sheet of ice, they have not gotten tired one bit. They have not lost their step one bit. And oh my gosh, like I go back to games like Michigan State, back of the ice box. They lost their mojo very quickly. And then you go to today, here on an Olympic sheet ice, they have not lost their beat one bet. They're still in it.
Penalty on Connor Beamish was for cross-checking. It's Northwood's third power play of the night. They're 0 for 2 previously. 7:49 to go in this hockey game. Back to out of his own zone to retrieve it is Zachary McCarty. He'll have the speedster Todorovic up his wing. Up ahead for Bechtal. They get it over the line onside. Haney sidesteps a check by Schultz, but not without the clear by Clements. 30 seconds gone already in that one. Schultz will go off. On comes Hutton, Nadu, and Messina. The reset, defended, cut off by Morgan. This penalty kill has been superb. They have not allowed a power play goal in 3 straight. So it's Nadu fighting behind the net against McCarty, and a delayed penalty coming up here on the Chippewas. They're going to get Nadu here. Jay Nadu roughed up Zachary McCarty behind the net. It's a hooking call. So Northwood is going to go to a 5-on-3 with 7:06 to go in this game.
Jay Nadu with the second penalty of the game. Once he leaves that penalty box, he attacks the skater. Once he gets out of the box, he just goes. That's one thing that I like about Jay Nadu. Although he hasn't been the most disciplined player on the ice today, although he has had a second penalty, it'll be a 5-on-3. He still is aggressive coming out of the box.
So 1 minute to go in this 5-on-3. Nadu and Beamish will sit. Here's Connor White. 1 goal tonight, the only for Northwood. Winds up with the shot, wide of the right post. Kept in by Gooley, however. Porzonic to pressure him. On that right side, it's White. Up to Gooley now. In the slot area, that one turned wide again. Connor White can't free it up. Canetta now against Campbell, trying to defend two at once. They pack the box again. Across for Gooley. Room to work. Room to shoot. They look in front. Sharp angle. Turned away. Once, twice, three times. And Woolery will sit on that. 19 to go in the 5-on-3. And this is the biggest part of the game for a netminer who started 5 straight, including this one. Has 4 straight wins for them. If they're going to win this game right now, the penalty kill, which has been great, has to keep it up. I feel like this is the crucial part where, like, of course, tied game, but you just look at how Northwood has been pressuring and peppering from the point. They haven't gotten a clean shot off. This is the time they would want to do it. Nathan Bottles now to dig in. At the near side, played by Hartfoot to Dorovic. Across the way for McCarty. Bechtel touched up with it now. In the slot, fire, scores! Milos to Dorovic to give the Timberwolves the lead on the power play. 2-1, 6:07 to go.
Todorovic, another player I said in the pregame show will come up big for Northwood. There it is. A power play goal on a 5-on-3 by Todorovic. Huge, huge, huge goal for Northwood. Still a 5-on-3. They could capitalize with the 7 seconds left that they have in the power play.
The first time CMU has trailed in their last 5 games. Northwood tied things up yesterday at 3 apiece, but Central went ahead with 3 goals in the third. And now the Timberwolves still on a power play. Come back again. Woolery with the save on Benjamin Haney. With 44 to go in this power play now.
Benjamin Haney, a guy who likes to shoot a lot. And, man, you saw that all game. He just hasn't gotten lucky with connecting those shots, but he gets those good looks. As we have a PA announce.
So assists on that Todorovic goal will go to Bechtel, as well as Cooper Hartfoot of Wolverine Lake. And so now Northwood still on the power play, has the momentum, shot from the point, saved out of the glove of Woolery. And Central right now is feeling the heat. They've really dominated the puck possession time when they've had it. But this young Northwood team came to play. They've been fast, physical. Their top players have scored when they've needed it, i.e. Todorovic, and they lead. So Colin White, the only other goal scorer in this game, Connor White rather, keeps the forecheck going. Up the near wall, here's Kroll. Up to the point for Gooley. Across the way, one top chin shot in front, it's loose, score! 2 power play goals give the Timberwolves a 3-1 lead. And that's Colin Rader leading the line.
Like I said, Northwood might capitalize right here, and they did exactly. Still on the power play. Man, White notching his 2nd goal of the game. And it looks like this is going to be all Northwood from here.
5:26 to go. 2 back-to-back power play goals by Todorovic, and now Colin Rader, their captain out of Brighton, Michigan. One of only 2 players on this Northwood roster that carried over from the 2020-21 season. The last time Northwood was a program in men's Division III. They took 2 years off after failing to recruit players to their roster. They came back with the likes of Mike Vesna, Jordan Cooper, Ryan Stumpf, and Taylor Carey leading the way. And Central Michigan and Brennan Martin are going to have a conversation with the head official. That's Jared Mertlock over there, as well as Jason Ruppel. The goal will stand, and we're going to get back to 5-on-5. Central down 2 late in this one. A shocker. This young Northwood team, their best win of the year was against number 11 Calvin. Only their 2nd game of the year. And at that point, we thought Northwood might have something. Their season hasn't turned out how they've wanted. 5-11 on the year. This would be a massive upset, and there is a Chippewa down at center ice. There's a couple of Chippewas gathered around now. The injured player. I can't see who that is just yet. And we're going to step aside for just a moment. Injured. Andrew Porzondik took a collision at center ice. That saw him lay down for about a minute. Gets to his feet, helped off the ice by Jay Nadeau and Owen Campbell. Porzondik has been very good the last couple of games. Last 3 in particular. 4 goals. But he is on that bench in a lot of pain. So 5:15 to go. Central down 2 goals in this one. The final game between these two as men's Division III opponents. Northwood moving to the Great Lakes 6 Conference, the newly instated Great Lakes 6 Conference in men's Division I next year. So this is it. Trying to go out with their first win in 7 years. Chippewas need an answer, and they need it quick. Kyle Robertson can't keep it out. McCarthy now, as Woolery scoops that puck as a streaking Benjamin Haney was coming in.
Yeah, Benjamin Haney, who's sneaky fast when it comes to shooting those goals. Unfortunately, he hasn't connected a lot, like we mentioned in the past here in this game, but man.
CMU is 4 points behind Oakland right now in the standings. A loss today would all but guarantee either the 4th or 5th seed for them. They would lose eligibility for that 3rd seed. So Central needs some offense right now. Here's Isaac Hopp. Takes it out of the zone as Kyle Robertson was back to help him out. Benjamin Haney gets to it. Connor Beamish now. First to touch over the red line. Trying to work it up to Hopp. The 4th line out here for the Chippewas. 4:30 to go in this hockey game. Hopp skirts wide with it to the net. Nathan Bottles tries to turn it wide. Backhands it to nobody. Turn the puck over to McCarty, and he gladly clears that out of danger. To Dorovic. The game go-ahead goal. To wrap around, trying to put it on net, and it was blocked by Lucas Hutton. Now Hopp will skirt it across to Nathan Bottles. And that one's collected by French. Robertson regains the line, however. Evades pressure. Has help out coming with Connor Morgan. Takes the shot on net, and Gerling, confident as ever, doesn't allow a rebound.
Gerlich sees the team's success so far here in the 3rd, and he wants to help out too. Able to save the puck there. Man, Northwood is on fire right now.
Those 2 power play goals were the backbreaker. And Johnson lost that draw. Oh, look out. Spencer Messina blew a tire. They're trying to stretch it out ahead for French, and luckily it was too far. Kyle Bowerson to wrap around the far boards. Gets it up to Morgan now. One touch. Chase Johnson out of the center zone. Tries to gain the blue line. To individual effort at Schultz. Shot well wide of the left post. Getting up to the puck is Bowerson. Johnson not sure where that puck was. Lost it for a moment. Schultz battles in that near corner against Bechtal. French is there to evade traffic. Coordinate this play. Up that far glass, French. 3 minutes to go in the Battle of M20. CMU needs goals. They need it quick if they want to send this to overtime. Need a pair right here. Scaturo dumps the red line. Chippewas came into the series winning 13 straight in the series. They haven't played since the COVID year, 2020-21. Northwood hasn't. And meanwhile, CMU, it's been a tale of 2 programs, has gone on to the last 4 straight national tournaments. This year, it doesn't look like they're going to be eligible for that, ranked 30th in the country. But they got back to 500 with the win yesterday. They were hoping for 5 straight wins coming into this one. their longest since, well, that year. But the clock is running out. 2:14 to go. They're trying to get out of their own zone. Will Rapoon evades pressure by Thomas Kroll. Dumps it along the wall. Owen Campbell one-on-one. Tries to win the battle, and he doesn't. Kroll taken away. Jay Nadeau. And there's going to be a penalty coming up here, I believe, on Campbell. He took
cross-check.
Yeah. Took a man out of the play, that far glass. And that one might all but seal it. Northwood, who is 2 for 5 on those 2 power play goals, will have a power play for the remainder of this hockey game. And for CMU, this is going to be a bitter result. Minded they can spring together some shorthanded magic or draw a penalty. Kyle Robertson lost the draw. It's Luke Ciceretto. Got it in front for the tip! And over the head of Wooler, and that barely missed Bechtel. Benjamin Haney, centering feet in front, out of the air. Played down by Harfoot. They keep it inside the zone. Haney now to evade the pressure by Hutton. Bechtel at the point, sends it on net, well wide. There's Robertson to hem it around the glass. Northwood on their schedule played some of the best in the nation. Number 13, Michigan. Number 9, MSU. Lost both of those games. They're coming off getting swept and outscored 13-3 against number 15, Saginaw Valley State. And the 6-4 loss last night continued those deficit ways. But they came to play tonight, this young Northwood team that's looking to move to Division I next year and looking to up their seeding in the MCHC East, is on the verge of taking down their crosstown rivals for the first time in 7 years. 50 seconds to go. Up the near wall, Todorovic. One last rush for him. Up the right side. He'll turn wide. Try the wraparound in front. And Harfoot was not ready for the one-timer. Canetta first to it. Defended by Hutton on that near corner. Out of the glass comes Raider. Up at the point. Gooley to play it along the way. Kroll. Northwood not laying off the gas pedal. 20 seconds away from a win. They're first and 3. Canetta up to Kroll. Nathan Bottles turns him around. Once again, Kroll up to Gooley at the point. Not ready for a one-timer was White. Now he'll take it off the left pad and out. And it's dumped the length of the ice. And it's over. For the first time since 2016, the Northwood Timberwolves have defeated Central Michigan in the final game of the Battle of M20. The Timberwolves win it 3-1. Goals tonight from Colin Reeder, Milos Todorovic, and Connor White. 2 of those 3 power play goals lead the way. Only goal scored for Central Michigan by Will Rapoon, his first of the year. But Northwood gets the split in the series. Post-game show with myself and Ryan Donnelly coming up next to recap this one and get you ready for next week against number 13 Michigan. Post-game coming up next. 3-1 the final. Northwood wins from Midland Civic Arena. Devin Sarah with you and Ryan Donnelly for the postgame show presented by SeaMitchIceHockey.com. The final in this one, Northwood defeats Central Michigan 3-1 for the first time since 2016. Central came in winning 13 straight, but this young, skilled Northwood team came to play today.
And we talked about this in the pregame show. They're very raw and they're very young. And it showed. CMU has a lot of returners that came back from last year. This team has a lot of fresh new faces. Only 5 returners coming back for Northwood. And it showed. They have the veterans and then they have the young pieces. And Northwood just outshowed them because of raw young talent. And it didn't work out in CMU's favor. Northwood did get the win.
One of those goals and one of those returners was only one of 2 from the 2020-21 season. It was Colin Reeder, captain for Northwood, scoring the third and final goal of this game, for the put-away goal, if you would. Central could not answer in the third. And taking you through our game recap, this one in the first period was at a stalemate. Central and Northwood back and forth. Shots were 13-8 CMU, and a great miraculous stop by CMU netminder Caleb Woolery kept the game scoreless. Both goaltenders were the story in this one overall, but especially the first.
Yeah, Caleb Woolery and Gerling played very well today, especially in that first. Caleb Woolery had a lot of great saves, especially towards the end. But one of the goals that I can think about in my mind was Ben Haney, who was able to get it on the right side and shoot it, and he had to dive for the puck, which was a very impressive just overall goaltending, just overall. And Caleb Woolery, something that I said earlier, that even though they gave up that second goal in the third period, Caleb Woolery does not get in his head. And it showed all game. He was still very good overall, even though he did give up 3 goals. He doesn't get in his head a lot, which is something that Caleb Woolery is very good at, and all goaltenders should have when they want a goal.
Woolery came into this game with his 5th straight start. He had won 4 straight, the only Chippewa netminder to win more than 2 games in a row. And tonight he falls for his first loss since that Florida Gulf Coast series. Solid effort, but the second period, it was opened up. Will Rappoon for the Chippewas got his first with the men's Division III team as a good shot from the point trickled in a few times. Rappoon was the first man there on a clean shot from the slot area after it bounced around and got his first at Chippewa. Schultz got the assist, and so did Jace Johnson. You know, the only productive thing in this game was that line, obviously, but Jace Johnson and Rappoon, Johnson getting his 4th straight point. That line was the most productive part. It's disappointing no others could get on the board as well.
Yeah, and that first line, they've played all solid all weekend, and you can't complain about that first line. And just overall, that first line was just trying to keep up with everybody, and that first line got penalized a lot, especially Jay Nadeau, who played very well yesterday and then got penalized twice, which almost cost CMU the game. And man, that first line has impressed a lot this week.
Northwood would answer with 4 minutes to go in the second period after Connor White scored his 3rd goal of the series. We were tied at 1 going into the 3rd period, where a stalemate for the first 10 minutes ensued. Central had a number of chances, a number of power plays. They killed off 2 of Northwood's, but then a penalty assessed to Connor Beamish for cross-checking, and then Jay Nadeau for hooking resulted in a 5-on-3 for the Timberwolves, and they struck not once but twice. The first from Milos Todorovic, the leading scorer this season. The game-winning goal is his. He shot it up from the point. It looked like it might have been redirected once, but it ended up going in from him. And from there on, they scored a minute later from their captain, Colin Ryder, as we mentioned, to go ahead and win the game 3-1. Final power play totals, 2 for 5 for Northwood, 0 for 4 was CMU. Taking a look at your impact players to watch, Jay Nadeau was the first and Jace Johnson was the second. Johnson recorded an assist in this game. On the other side of things, Northwood, Todorovic, and Gooley were your others. But Gooley was all over the ice just as a puck distributor, and we thought many times tonight he would have a chance to score.
And like you mentioned, that Northwood runs a dump-and-go offense, and you saw Gooley basically be the vocal point of that dump-and-go offense. Although he didn't notch any points today, he still was a nice voice, in this Northwood offense. And that's something that you want. You want that role player in your team. And Gooley will go a long way for this Northwood team if he ends up staying.
Yeah, the forward out of Harrison Township, Michigan, notched an assist on that final goal scored by Reeder in this one. Time now to look at your keys to the game. Ryan, what were they and how did CMU execute?
Well, my first key to the game, Devin, was don't let confidence take over towards the end. And it looks like confidence took over towards the end of the second period. Their confidence took over towards the end of the second, and it's because just bad penalties altogether. They got in their heads, and they went to the box a lot, and that's what costed them the 2 end game goals, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, the first key of the game, I don't think worked in their favor. Keep the momentum flowing. They kept the momentum flowing for about a period and a half, and then they gave up those 2 goals. So again, I don't think that key worked out in the end. And then stay disciplined all game. They stayed disciplined towards the first period. No penalties there. Second period, they had a couple penalties, but then the penalty kill, the penalty unit played really well. And then it was the third period where those penalties bited him back in the butt, giving up, again, 2 goals. And I don't think and then I think just discipline is a big factor in this game, especially towards the end where Jay Nadeau had 2 penalties, which basically costed them the game, basically. And if they want to compete against teams like Michigan next week, they got to stay disciplined.
No doubt. We're going to step aside for just a moment and get you ready for next week's battle against Michigan and update you on some out-of-towns coming up tonight. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the pregame or postgame show on CCHN. We're back here to wrap up the post-game show. Devin Sura, Ryan Donnelly. Ryan, your 3 stars of the game presented by Optimex Sports between Central and Northwood.
Oh, my 3rd star of the game, I got to give it to Loderpoon, the only Chippewa to get 1 on the board. He deserves my 3rd star. My 2nd star, I got to go with Gerling. 34 for 35 shots on goal. CMU won in shots on goal, 35 to 34, and man, Gerling was in his crease all game. He played phenomenal from start to finish, and that is just classic goaltending. And then for my 1st star, I got to give it to Todorovic. He had the game-winning goal. Although he didn't have the exclamation point goal, he had the goal to basically just tell him, hey, it's our game now. He was the goal that had them talk. He's the one that had them just say, it's our game now, and Todorovic gets my 1st star.
Todorovic, Gerling, and Rapoon. First goal as a Chippewa. Gerling did play very well. He was, and only his 3rd start this year, not allowing a lot of rebound chances. Very impressive lineup there for the Stars. Taking a look forward for CMU, they will take on Michigan, number 13 ranked, the reigning national champions, in their final regular season series of the year. They'll take on Michigan from Arctic Edge Canton, their home arena, next Friday, February 9th, for an 8 p.m. slated puck drop. You can catch that game with myself and Devin Sarah on the call for that one. I say my own name, Reagan Cleaves, and me, Devin Sarah, on the call for that one. For the following night being senior night from Martin Ice Arena, February 10th. Make sure you're ready to come out for that game. Joe. Hey, when's our puck drop for senior night? 5 o'clock, 5:30. So pregame 5 o'clock, puck drop at 5:30, Saturday, February 10th. Make sure you come out to the Martin Ice Arena for the final time this year. Really sad to say that. And it'll be a great ceremony to honor some seniors and get us ready for the MCHC tournament.
Including you. You are one of those seniors.
Yeah.
Will you get honored, though?
You know, I'm not really too worried about that. I think it's about the players. I actually do want to have my family up, so I think I'm going to invite the family up, and we'll celebrate after, regardless of the score. Still a lot more work to do this year. We've got this one and a good announcement coming up in the coming weeks for myself and Reagan on the broadcast side. But for now, we got a season to finish off here. So CMU will take on Michigan February 9th next week. Be sure to tune in to CCHN for that one. Some out-of-town scoreboards to update you on. Oakland is at the Wolverines today at 8:30 p.m. Oakland got the 5-4 overtime victory last night to go ahead in the MCHC East. They currently hold the 3rd spot in the rankings ahead of the tournament, Michigan at 4. Grand Valley State, number 1, takes on Michigan State. Grand Valley survived a nail-biter against Michigan State last night from Mount Ice Arena. They'll take on them at Griff's Georgetown, a home game for the Lakers. And Michigan Flint visits number 11 Calvin at 5:30, ready to tip off just about here in 12 minutes or so. Our professional out-of-town scoreboards look like this. The Griffins took down the Ice Hogs last night from Van Andel Arena. They'll take on the Manitoba Moose next Friday and Saturday. The Saginaw Spirit take on Barrie today at 7 p.m., 100.5 WSGW if you want to listen to that one. And the Red Wings are in the All-Star break. Alex DeBrincat is representing them. For the Red Wings, they'll be back in the regular season slate on February the 10th against the Vancouver Canucks. That's going to do it for our production. We'd like to thank all of our friends at Moore Hall Television Studios for providing the equipment you see used here today, our camera, lights, and microphones, as well as our cameraman Reagan Cleaves tonight, who's getting ready to ref a high school game
right behind us.
Yes, and hopefully we'll see some pictures ensuing on that.
I don't see
He looks like a
him
natural
there.
professional. Oh boy!
They all look the same. They all got black and white stripes.
He's got the white padding on there. So we'll talk to him about that after. Rub elbows with him. But Ryan Donnelly, great job tonight calling the game. It was fun to work with you for the first time
I'm honored
this
to work
year.
with you on one of your last broadcasts, and I'm honored.
I'm not going any. Well,
I know,
here
but
I'm going somewhere.
in a couple,
hopefully.
he's got a couple games with us left.
I try and dumb it down. Thank you
And,
very much.
I really
man.
do appreciate you, and I really do appreciate you letting me broadcast with you at least once, and thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy. That's very kind of you to say. I
course.
appreciate it. Thank you to our producer, Sam Tabashinsky. I got it right this time. I've said it wrong the last 2 weeks. Sam Tabashinsky running the 1s and 2s. Great job as always. And how about that replay camera you guys saw debuted? Excellent job all around from our production staff. But until then, we'd like to thank you for watching this presentation of CB Men's Division III Hockey on CCHN. The final, Northwood wins the final Battle of M20 game 3-1 against the Central Michigan Chippewas. So until next week, for Ryan Donnelly, my name is Devin Sarah. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful night, everybody.